The show has won 4 Tony Awards for Best Musical Revival. We're talking about Hello Dolly.
The musical is on stage right now at the Bushnell Theater. Daniel Beeman, who plays Cornelius Hackle, and Christophre Faison, who's in the ensemble, are both here. And Christophre is actually from Connecticut, and I think that you need to give a little shout out. There's some people excited that you're here.
Hey, home team.
Hey, home team, you made it.
Team, I'm here.
You did it.
I'm so happy to have you both here.
Kara and I were just discussing this. I have, I love Broadway.
Yeah.
Never seen the show, never saw the movie. I didn't know anything about it until I researched it this morning. It's all about a matchmaker.
Yeah.
The whole thing is about a matchmaker.
Yeah.
So, and it's the story. I did it at Thornton Wilde's 1938 farce, The Merchant of Yonkers, which then was revised and retitled The Matchmaker in 1955, and then it became
Hello Dolly.
It became Hello Dolly, and in 1964 it ran away with all the awards.
Right. Right.
So tell us, now that I've given everything away and there's nothing left to talk about, let's talk about the show.
Right. Yeah, Dolly is a brilliant matchmaker who makes it her business to set people up. And not only does she make it her business to set people up, she also is trying to find love herself.
Right.
So really it's a love story about her sort of way into finding her own love through other people's business.
Yeah, so she's, and then I guess she has this issue where the toughest matchmaker, the toughest match she's going to make, and then she might want to marry the guy instead?
Yeah. That's the setup, is that she's decided that instead of setting him up with somebody, she's just going to do it herself.
And that's Horace Vandergelder.
That's Horace Vandergelder.
Now you play one of the guys who works in Horace's shop.
Yes.
And you open cans of tomatoes and make the whole place stink, and then you run off to New York.
Yeah. So I play Cornelius Hackle, who is the chief clerk at Vandergelder's Hay and Feed. And I'm given an opportunity where Vandergelder goes away to New York City for a day, so I take it upon myself to bring my best friend Barnaby along to travel to New York City and just get out of our town for the day and go on an adventure. And then we get caught in Dolly's hijinks as well, and we end up finding love for ourselves too.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I know we've got some clips of the show, but the one thing that I love when I was reading all the reviews, if you haven't seen the super famous production, is that it's happy. Everything is, there are people who say it's like the happiest musical ever. You just leave feeling good.
Yeah, it really is. It's a joy. We have a joke that we just say joy. That's what we're trying to put out there, is just pure joy. And it's really heartwarming. It's a really lovely story, and it's very funny. It's very, very funny. You'll have a good laugh.
So it was originally written for Ethel Merman. Did you know that?
Didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Ethel, and she would have been a great Hello Dolly.
Oh yeah.
But she turned it down. Then it went to Mary Martin. She turned it down. Then it went to Nancy Walker, the Bounty towel lady, and also wrote her Morgenstern's mother, right? She didn't want it, or she didn't get it, and then it finally went to Carol Channing, who made the role, I think, famous.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the movie was done by Barbra Streisand.
Barbra Streisand did the movie.
And she lost everything into Funny Girl in 1964 to Hello Dolly, and then she goes on to be in the movie, which I think is just kind of ironic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's kind of surreal.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. The sheer star power that has played this role. Over the last, how many years? 55 years? Yeah, 50 plus years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. And to bring it back in 2019 across the country is just, it's amazing.
So maybe maybe some of our viewers have actually been and seen one of the earlier versions of it. What happens in the revival? Is it still exactly the same? Are there different takes on it?
This is the closest thing you're going to get to the original staging of it.
Okay.
This is the version to see because of that. Visually, you're taken into this beautiful world that was created that is just the whole entire sets and costumes are just stunning and outstanding, and really there's nothing new per se in this version, but it is the closest thing you'll get to the original.
Okay,
yeah, for sure.
Triple threats? Do you both sing and dance?
He's a triple threat.
You're a triple threat?
He is the triple threat at the table.
Did you get to sing before the parade passes me by?
I don't. I wish I did. I get to listen to it every night in the dressing room,
it's
though.
It's so gorgeous. We were just talking about that in the dressing room.
I was telling Kara, I was like, this is probably, well, Hello Dolly is probably one of the most famous songs on Broadway, but don't let the parade pass me by.
Yeah.
I mean, every drag queen in America has performed that.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, so, how did you get the roles? I mean, were you up? Tell me about your audition process and how you came to the Bushnell.
So I joined the tour for the first year back in September of 2018, and I was in the ensemble, and I understudied Cornelius. And then when we went out for year 2, starting in September of this year, they bumped me up to the role full time.
Congratulations!
So thank you.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So so I've been with the show for little over a year now.
Over a year. I was doing My Fair Lady on Broadway, and we closed that in
With
July.
Lauren Ambrose?
With Lauren Ambrose. Yeah,
my
another
God, I wanna
Connecticut
hug you.
native.
I just want to hug you to be
Okay,
close
we can
to her.
hug. It's Kindness Day. We can
all
hug.
right,
We'll
yeah,
hug
absolutely.
later.
All right, so bad.
Yeah, so I was doing My Fair Lady, and that closed. And then the opportunity came up to go in and audition for this, and I was like, cool. And went in and ended up in his old track, which is very funny. So now I understudy Cornelius.
But you grew up here in Connecticut,
I
so
did.
for all the people who are watching, like, is there a great place you studied, or how do people get involved with maybe some resources that are for the young ones here?
I was fortunate to go to Norwich Free Academy, and I had an awesome high school music teacher there who created his own theater company down in Norwich, the Spirit of Broadway Theater, which is now the Chestnut Street Playhouse. And so I did a lot of work there, and then just knew that Norwich was a little too small for me. Love you guys, but it was a little too small, and I had to, get out, and ended up in New York, and here I am.
And there you are.
Yeah.
Well, just like she got a sign from Ephraim in the show,
That's
we're
right.
getting a sign from our producer. It's time to go.
It's time to go.
But we so appreciate your time being here.
It's my pleasure. Thank
It's
you for
great.
having
Good
us.
luck. Continued success
Thank
to the
you.
both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Paul,
Both of
I want
you.
to go. I want to go see the show. All right. Well,
You get
see
to
if I'm
go.
working out.
Hello Dolly, you can go too. The Bushnell is, it'll be at the Bushnell through the 17th. There are evening shows and some matinees. So for tickets, go to bushnell.org.
Log on right now.